So this podcast, it's been a very long time since I've done one of these. I don't have my usual glasses, my such bullshit glasses, because well, they're broken, and you don't need to really worry about what the fuck happened to them. But hey, BDX, are you there? I'm missing a. Fuck it. We'll do it like this. Close enough, right? I mean, it works. So look, here's the deal, right? Road versus Wade. So we're just gonna call it the Wade law now. It's fucked. Um, the shitty thing with this law, okay, it's fuck it, I can't even do it with this. It's not working. It's not working. I need new fucking Waldo glasses. I know, guys. Listen, Roe versus Wade has been in effect since fucking the '70s, man. It's old as shit. BDX, you got some playback. I don't know where you went, so I'm gonna move you down a channel. Let me know when you get back. I moved him down the AFK channel. I don't know if he'll come back. So look, listen. We, as a society, are completely, and I mean completely and utterly fucked the hell up. Mind my language, excuse it. I don't care if this gets kid censored for whatever reason. Roe versus Wade's main focus was the fact it was to protect civil rights on accidental birth, rape, or, the right to protect your future, essentially. So these people that are, they're out there, the women that get raped, or a man that gets sperm jacked and trapped in a relationship that is forced to take care of a kid against their will, forced to, enslave themselves to a job forever, taking care of a child that they didn't want. Now, that option to cut that life short so that that person gets their freedom back, that woman gets their freedom back, that man gets their freedom back, because they didn't consent to the child, those individuals are now fucked because of civil rights activists that think that if they remove abortion, that everything will be fine. They just want to show off that they could remove something out of context. The one thing that surprised me mostly of all this is that Trump and his own supporters fucking supported throwing this out, which automatically that just deterred me from wanting to continue to support him right there. I did support every decision that Trump had did up to that point. Like, I was all okay for political beliefs, standing behind him, but not on that move, because there's no stability plan afterward. The whole purpose to him wanting that removed is because it actually costs a lot of money to constantly do abortions. It's true. Hospitals got to pay for that. What fucking surgeon is going to go in there and stick a, I don't want to say a coat hanger up there because it's a little barbaric to our current standards these days, but C-section, remove the fetus or whatever, go in, do whatever the surgery it takes to get the child out, or maybe it's a male anal baby, which, very rare case. I mean, men can get pregnant. It's been recorded in human history. Don't know the fuck how, but I don't want to know. I don't know. My point is, why is it fucked now? Why is it suddenly fucked after years upon years of something that was working just fucking fine, that people have to get antsy and fucking sit up in front of these court rulings and sit in front of the fucking White House, parked out front, waving a fucking sign like some fucking moron, and trying to overturn some law? It's been like this civil hush-hush, this is, a private indoors law that now doesn't get that anonymous support anymore to the civilians. That's what it means by being a civil law. You protect the people that you care about. So what Trump just did, getting those three idiots to support that ballot passing to where it's like, oh, well, pro-abortion, you don't get abortion rights anymore. And all these states now have to make it. And this is the one thing that I fucking hate the United States for. The one and only thing that I hate the United States for is the fact that when a federal law gets removed, all the states then have to make their own fucking retarded version of it. And I say retarded version, not mentally disabled version. Retarded version. They make their retarded version, and then they try to enforce it onto their fucking, and I'm saying this in slurs and, bad wording, because obviously townships don't know what the fuck she's doing because she's stupid. Township municipals, they are fucking dumb. They don't know their thing. They're fucking stupid. They're dumb. So when the state gets their legislation, and they make up their bullshit pro, if they're not against it or for it, they then try to enforce that onto a municipal level. And this is not just about abortion, this is all laws. The township then tries to enforce their own version. And usually that version is the only version that matters until the state steps in and tells you to fuck off. That concept right there is like a fucking micromanaged tree of retarded bullshit. It should just stem from the top, and that's the main one, not all these other ones. A primary issue is the same thing with fucking age of consent. Age of consent is different in every state. Every law is different in every state. So rather it be just a federal law that's across all states without any jurisdiction, it becomes an issue when it becomes online issues that intersect two states into one or whatever. Or maybe this person is going on Florida grounds and their laws are different. Oh, they took a cell phone over while having a call with a 15 or 16-year-old girl, and it's legal at 16 when they go into Florida or something. I don't know if that's the exact age of consent law in Florida, but because they're passing the state lines or whatever and they're on the phone talking about something like that, it suddenly is illegal at that point. Because of the fact that no federal law is put in place and they put all these little jurisdictions, these jurisdictions by state, the state, honestly, most states don't want to fucking bother with this shit. They just take the federal law that they're given and then they just act on it. Unless it's a very particular state. I don't know, like Wisconsin or New Jersey or Florida or Texas, the swinging big states with the colleges and all that shit. Those are the only ones at the end of the day that actually matter. And Pennsylvania especially. Out of all the other ones though, in New York too, I forgot to name that one too. There's a massive one. Out of all these states and everything that is out there, they do not give one flying fuck for you, the person that's sitting at home, that's sitting there like, oh, who cares about Roe versus Wade? Well, here's a newsflash. Okay? This is a true story about my life. I'm going to tell it on podcast. And I don't care if it gets on Facebook. I don't care where the fuck it goes. I had an ex-girlfriend once. She lied about being on birth control. You can see where this is going. She turned around after I had a long conversation to her that I didn't want a kid because one of her friends had a kid and she's like suddenly, oh, I got motherly instincts and I want a child now. I told her no. Tells me she took her birth control the other week and I go to bang that. An hour later, we're outside. She turns on. She goes, by the way, I'm not on birth control. So now I'm entrapped. Thank God it's not my fucking child because I fucking pregnancy tested her right the fuck away. I told her don't ever fucking communicate with me ever again. But if this law was overturned at that time and I did end up with a fucking child at that point, I would be fucked. My career would be over. I'd be dealing with a kid every day. My entire work schedule, my careers, goals, my my hobbies would change. Everything about me would fucking change right in that instant because then I would have been a parent at that point against my will. That is not exactly fair to me. And you could say, well, you're the one who stuck your dick in there. She admitted to being on fucking birth control. Contraceptive. So to my knowledge, contraceptives were in use for safety so that I don't have that. So there is very much cases of entrapment in America against men, especially against men. And then all the women that have, there are women out there that have unprotected sex. They go out to fucking clubs and they get knocked up. They don't know who the father is, and they're just basically sperm jackers. That's another thing too. The fucking women that do that shit, the kind of shit that was done to me, almost. Those women. You need to lock them the fuck up and put a law against that. If a person is going out of their way to make it their life's mission to ruin another person's career, another person's livelihood, or change their entire fucking life against their consent when they've already said that, yes, I do not want a child. And because this shit's behind closed doors, it's considered domestic to police, so police don't give a shit. The issue with that is that there's no repercussions put in place against the individual forcing you into this entrapment. There's no thing like that. The preventative to get around it was the Roe versus Wade. That was the one thing that we had left, the civil right that we just fucking overturned, that Trump like a moron threw out because he didn't want you guys in the medical region, in that field, to be stocked. He wanted to control stocks on the medical market. It was a financial move. It wasn't considered for this civil bullshit. It was for him to make some quick money back in the medical market. That was the only thing he did it for. He did it for money. And he worked. It worked because everybody else that sits around Washington, D.C. is a fucking moron. That's the fact of the matter, it is. So, this goes back to the women. How many cases you see on the Pennsylvania news, or the New York news, or even anywhere on the fucking news every single day? A woman raped in Camden by a black male in Camden in their 20s. If anybody sees a report of this, or whatever. And it doesn't even have to be a black person, it can be anybody. There's been plenty of fucking cases. Every year, at least every few days, a woman in the fucking US is getting raped. And having, an unwanted child. So now that law is now fucking gone. I am 100% against the overturn. I am for them creating a new law that's similar to Roe to improve on that law. Because of the fact that it's your career and your future and your kids' futures that are now going to be fucked up because of this law when you stop and really think about it. How is it fair that anyone in America can now be fucked over simply because some little shit in their life wanted to lie, cheat, or steal, or whatever, or sperm jack you, or entrap you into a fucking corner and basically ruin your entire financial future, your career, your hobbies, your friends, your family? All that shit will be thrown out because you're going to be stuck forever taking care of somebody via child support. And the women too are 100% responsible for this, just as much as the men. It doesn't matter which gender. I'm not picking a side for that. I could be a fucking woman and still say the same thing that I'm saying right now without a bias whatsoever. I wouldn't fucking sperm jack a guy if I was a woman and say, hey, I want a fucking kid just to sit on my ass for the rest of my life collecting child support and using the fucking kid as a little moneymaker while taking them off the Social Security to claim for a bunch of falsified disabilities and get a little bit more money on top of that. Women like that, lock them the fuck up, get them off Social Security, get them help, put them in fucking mental hospitals. Because honestly, you just supported adding that much more debt to the national fucking clock. The U.S. national debt. Here's a fact for you, for anybody who's watching this that wants to fucking know actual monetary value and business strategy. Look at the U.S. national debt clock. Go Google it right the fuck now. Every human being on birth is worth less than $40,000. If not, it's probably even worse now. It's probably going to be around 50 or 60K. And on birth, that means that human being, every child that is now brought in accidentally or without the consent of the whole family, or, the parents, both of them, they are now permanently locked into a stalemate contract and trying to help that kid raise that money to be able to pay back to society. Otherwise, they're going to be useless and basically repeat what the parent had done. But, that's every other generation of kid, basically, right? I mean, the national debt's basically going to fucking multiply over the next few years. 20 years from now, I'm going to say this. By the time I am dead and gone, I'm going to say it on camera right now. We are going to be like China, and we are going to have a population control law. If Roe versus Wade isn't fixed or a different law is put into place to correct this, we are going to have population laws. I can fucking bet you my entire career, I would bet you this whole studio I'm sitting in right now, we will have population laws put into place by the time I am dead and gone. Or even earlier. Even earlier. I don't even doubt it. Not a doubt drop in my mind upon reading all this stuff. And you could check the link below at what these guys have to say. The article I linked on the ACLU is, I agree with every fucking word of it. This article was put up the other day, not long ago. So, because one or two states are now trying to outright ban it, which they're trying to ban abortion, I don't understand why. There are cases where there's fucking hillbillies and incest, and there's people banging their own sisters or whatever, and they're producing kids that are mentally disabled. That's another fucking whole ballpark. I mean, honestly, I'm not going to say it's right or wrong because it's still your family, but it's still very gross. I'm not going to judge you if that's your kink and thing, but, if the kid's gonna have a mental disability, don't have the fucking kid. Even hillbillies know not that they don't want fucking kids of their own kids. It's bad enough that the healthcare, the free healthcare will be provided to, incest children. And I could see, in Mississippi, incest being a wide thing because, again, it's Mississippi. I'm not sure how bad their incest laws are down there. I don't know if incest is banned around all the states, but I don't really care for it. If you want to bang your fucking sister or bang your brother, go the fuck ahead. But to produce a kid is a whole nother fucking ballpark that should be done with somebody with different gene pool. Okay? So, honestly, just I'm baffled that upon being on this earth for 30 years, I would hear the civil law on birthing a child would now suddenly be changed for the simple fact of a bunch of fucking yuppies sitting around in a fucking courtroom, and now all of our medical assurance that in case our futures are now fucked are now going to be thrown out the window. It's very unfair. It's very unfortunate. Society needs to fucking change. We live in a society, and yet we live in a society filled with fucking idiots that go out to places and they do stupid shit. Here's a nice example. There's one person I support more than anything on YouTube. Louis Rosman. The guy is he's trying to get the right to repair signed across everywhere. And what basically the right of repair is essentially that the business manufacturer of a product should continue making parts to repair everything else. They shouldn't hide them behind closed doors. Apple, they have their Genius Bar, where for years now, they don't give out all the parts for everything, be it, the back screen of a monitor, or a little capacitor, or a little battery that has signed code on it that, is needed to make the fucking thing work. There are a lot of manufacturers and producers that produce printers, or, that take a very specific paper roll that has a code on the strip that if it doesn't have that code, it won't print. Shit like that. It needs very specific and to the manufacturer shit, so that way they can continue to make money rather than somebody third-party their own printer paper and they put that through. What Lewis has been against all that time is that very idea, to be able to not limit it to just a manufacturer and have third-party stuff put into place. I feel like if a company is in place and they're selling product, they should continue to support that product as well as all third-party things around that and work with those third parties that want to put that stuff out. So if a paper company wants to put out, if there's other paper companies that are looking at the stuff that they're making, and they're making it because it's cheaper, that parent company should be assisting them and taking what they have and working with them and fucking pushing that out. Instead, that's what Lewis has been about, all about and against. That is one YouTuber on this platform and his rights to go to state and, post that up everywhere. He is one YouTuber I will always support. Just for that one view. Now, do I support all of his views? Probably not. No one, not everyone in the world gets the fuck along. But when you have this major of a quote unquote, as I call it, a fuck up that's completely wrong, this massively fucked up law put into place specifically for the purpose of screwing over the futures of men and women, both equally, it's wrong. I would like somebody to give me a valid argument right now. At any point, send me an email. You know what? I'll even put it on my screen. I will put up a text message of my email on screen right now. Let me make a new source. Like, right there. It's not really well seen because of the color, but you get the idea. I'm gonna give it some color a little bit too. Make it yellow, I don't care. Background color, I'll give it a color too. There. Okay? I want somebody right now, in this email right here, send me an email as to why you think right now watching this podcast back that it is okay to ban abortion across an entire state. I want to hear one good valid reason or a story or something that would click with me to make me agree with you that it's okay to ban it throughout an entire state. And I don't want to hear anything about finances. Okay, I don't want to hear about how, oh, it's a lot of work for doctors to go in and stick a fucking a coat hanger up there, or surgically go in and cut the fetus out, all this. I don't want to hear that. I don't care about the age of the child. I don't want to care if it's just a fetus or a fucking zygote. I don't care. What I care about is if that kid is born, and even if it has a heartbeat down there, I don't care. It's not born yet. You still have the option to get rid of it, regardless. I want to hear what the valid reasoning and science behind somebody's mindset if both parents aren't on a board with the kid, or if you're somehow a hermaphrodite and want your own kid. That's you can't stop that at that point because you're the only parent. But if there's two parents to the kid, is it right? Try to tell me, explain to me how it's okay to not want to be against it if one person's not for it. Okay, it doesn't make any sense to me. The only instance that I would ever feel like something like that is okay is where the woman is scared to tell the man that, hey, I'm pregnant, and they do it leading up to a few months beforehand where it's an acceptable window. And at first the man's response is like, yeah, no, I'm not ready for that. Sorry, it's too much. And then they're convinced that it's okay. And if it's okay afterward or during it, great. That's the man saying, like, look, I'm not for it, but I'll help. I'll do it. But then he accepted that decision. That child's now in part of his life forever on their decision. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't view anything wrong with that. What I view wrong with it is, again, back to my own personal fucking story that I said earlier that I feel like is wrong. When people do the manipulative shit that they do for child support and fucking money, that they're just going to sit on their ass and not fucking put it toward the kid anyway. They'll probably give them at most a fucking little thing of cereal or a little cup of fucking chicken noodle soup at most, and spend the rest of it on stupid money and things that they don't fucking need because, again, child support isn't regularly moderated in any form or matter whatsoever. It's like government in general is a pile of fucking shit. The fact that you could go into a federal office with a kid and use them to collect additional Social Security on them and send all that money to your account, and they're your kid and you're just viewing them as an extra paycheck, and you could fake all their disabilities. Again, it's very disgusting. And you can collect on their disabilities when they're into adult life. I got a friend that's, almost mid-20s. Okay? His parents are still collecting his Social Security off them. It's like, what the fuck? And before you say, well, maybe he can't take care of himself, you're an adult. You can take care of yourself. I can take care of myself. I'm already out of my fucking house. I'm living both in 2 homes. I go wherever the fuck I want. So in anyone's mind, down below, fucking email me right now why you think it'd be okay to ban abortion across the state. Give me one good story, just something. I'm trying to process how much bullshit and retarded people. What kind of a person would want it? I can't. I really, really can't. And I know a lot of women that have been raped, because I'm friends with some of them that have been rape victims. I'm fucking friends with a lot of guys that have been fucking screwed around with and almost entrapped, just like I was. I've met it a lot, I've seen it a lot, and I know women that have gotten away with it, and they're really fucking scummy. I know people. It's really unfortunate. We all live on a planet in a society filled with morons, and I think Roe versus Wade just getting overturned is one of the fucking dumbest things I have ever heard in my entire fucking life upon reading and looking into it. Because again, I haven't read Roe versus Wade since I was fucking maybe 7. Okay, that's how long ago. I read it in a book when I was like 8 or 9 years old. And now that I'm 30 and I have a kid on the way, consensually, from both, and I'm just sitting here, I'm like, what the fuck? What do you fucking mean that people want to overturn that? So basically, even though I have a kid on the way, my government now won't allow to support me canceling the kid. If I make a decision now, between now and then, I just suddenly I just can't do it because some reason it's wrong to financially put another child in the way of the world. And before a lot of these women jump up out of their seats, be like, "You're killing a child! You're killing a child!" What if the environment that I'm living in, I don't feel comfortable with having my child in it? Like not just the home or the food or the water, the heat or the house I live around or whatever home I choose. Maybe I'm worried about the future they're gonna have too. Like we're still in a fucking pandemic. Economy's not too great. Gas is almost fucking $5-6 right now. That's pretty quote cheap to some states right now. And what? I'm supposed to just sit there and be okay with everything like that? I should be, happy and thrilled. I mean, I'm even hesitant to have my own fucking wedding right now. Like, I wanted to have a wedding, but there's COVID, so now I gotta, have COVID restrictions and masks and all this stupid. No, fuck that. It's been years, and people are still doing that type of shit. Walmarts aren't open 24/7. Stupid shit's been going on. And yet, for whatever reason, no one has ever given me one fucking reason to ban abortion across an entire state. Be it inbred children, that's one thing. Another thing is when you're a fucking woman, and I'm not going to say this woman's name, that's from my past, go around, send a text message to my phone saying that, oh, hey guys, and a mass text like an idiot, fucking hit me up with a message, hey guys, I'm going to go around getting knocked up, and I'm going to be drinking, smoking weed, and I'm going to be tripping acid tonight, meet me up here at XOX and blah, blah, blah. If if you don't hear me from next week, I'll probably be dead. And then literally 2 weeks later, announce that they're pregnant. Oh, and the child, when born, has physical and mental disabilities as a result. Parents like that, legally speaking, should have their tubes tied. That's my firm belief. Because you're endangering a child for your own self-pleasurement. It's fucking sick. And, again, women have just as much as a right to controlling abortion and birth just as much as men. Equally so. Equally fucking so. Okay, I could see it from either fucking gender side. If I were to have a sex change tomorrow, I would still have the same fucking opinion I have right now, without a doubt in my mind. So, if somebody could tell me, logically, from both a financial, physical, environmental standpoint, why is it okay to ban fucking abortion across every state? I need somebody to tell me. Like, a good story, something to compare, something, just put it right the fuck here, please. Just send me it. I want to know. I want to know why society is so fucking stupid that they're okay with banning something that is useful, that is in place to prevent that shit. So what? If you're a woman, you're walking down the street and some fucking black dude or white dude jumps you in the middle of the night and you're middle of walking home from work at night or something, and some dude just fucking rapes you and fucking you now have a kid that you didn't want. Can't get him off, you can't knife him, can't shoot him, can't fucking, it's against your will. Police don't do shit, they don't investigate, they don't fucking do anything. Here's how police investigates. They pull out a piece of paper, okay, and they go, oh, yeah, that's the name? Alright, we'll look into it, and then they walk the fuck away.
Alright, listen, I've been in the AFK channel.
Yeah?
Hey, I'm back, what up?
I'm podcasting right now.
Oh, you're on a podcast? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm talking about the fucking pregnancy law.
Wade gently down the stream. You can't kill any more of your babies.
It's literally the podcast title. I think it's retarded that they overturned it.
Well, yeah. I mean, what was it? Some black guy and some white lady who wanted to overthrow the government?
So,
the interracial couple do it. Funny.
It just astounds me that they want to ban it across the fucking states, yet it's helped so many people. Explain to me one instance right now why it would be okay to ban abortion across the state. Give me one good story. Come up with an example, please. Please, just give me a good reason. I want to hear one. Just give me one, any of them.
I think what's going on here is they're just trying to get everybody to hate the government. They just want everybody all angry and afraid. What do you think?
I'm not angry, I just think they're fucking stupid. I'm not afraid of them either. I'll fucking say what I want. I'll outright say on my own stream that I've been more than willing to drive a car right through Biden's house. I don't care. I'll drive my car through the White House. I don't care.
Why would you do that?
Because why the fuck not? It's called freedom of speech. I can do what I want.
Well, that's not where the Supreme Court is, dumbass.
Well, if I wanted to, you give me the location. I'll drive through that instead. Maybe I'll go in there and tell them how
If you're so intent on finding that black guy in the
maybe we
bathroom,
can get rid of maybe we can get rid of Mitch McConnell and get him out of the fucking treasury because the guy's just fucking half the time he looks like he's on fucking dope. Like,
dude,
for
America
real.
has a treasury. Don't
We have a
tell
treasury.
Blackbeard or any of the pirates that we got treasure. Don't tell them. They're gonna come over here with their wooden galleons and their cannons and their hook hands and their peg legs, and they're gonna try and take our treasury.
What the fuck are you on about?
You said America has a treasury.
Yeah, we have a U.S. Treasury. What else is new? Yes, it's fake. It's mostly the bank making its own money.
Yeah, but that means the pirates are gonna come over here on their boats.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. Back in my time, there wouldn't be no judge married to a white woman telling
Democracy
me I
achieved.
An abortion. Me and Cletus, we got 7
McPowell.
abortions, that's the 2 of us.
I'm just really disappointed in Donald Trump right now. Like, I can't believe he'd be okay with this.
Ronald Trump? Who the hell is Donald Trump?
Donald Trump, you can know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Ronald McDonald?
How high are you on a scale of 1 to 10?
How high am I?
Yeah.
Purple Haze.
I don't think that counts as a meter. But
no, but I think it's a song by Prince.
Yeah. So what do you think?
Something like this.
BDX, listen. Give me an example of entrapment. Give me an answer as to why it would be okay to ban abortion across the state. BDX. Give me a reason why you think it'd be okay to ban abortion across the state. How about the state of New York? If a woman raped you and sperm jacked you, what would you do right now?
I would cry and pee my pants.
For real.
But for real?
No, jokes aside, no fucking troll, no.
I have past trauma, so I can't cry. But I could sure as hell pee my pants.
I live in a society of fucking idiots, I swear to God.
But man, if a woman doesn't do that to me, first, I would find that quite unladylike. And second, I would probably find them extremely unattractive. So I'll be fighting them, kicking them, punching them, trying to get away from them. And if the dumb-ass dun-diddly judge thinks I'm a bitch when I'm testifying against this woman who done attacked me and tried to suck my dick straight up, man, the things I do, I would hold that man in contempt. I would hold that woman in contempt. Ain't no judge could tell me how to feel about my feelings.
What the actual fuck?
But yeah, I can't wait to get an abortion.
You can't. Really.
Because I got no uterus?
I don't know. I just feel like it's the dumbest fucking law that I've ever fucking seen overturned in the entire history of my fucking life. For whatever reason, and they haven't even put in place a continued method to get around it. They haven't even created a law at all after overturning it, or a temporary congregence, or whatever the fuck the wording is.
They're trying to ban condoms and gay sex.
I don't see them doing that. I mean, there's gay rights everywhere.
There was a concurring opinion by Clarence Thomas, the guy from Condemned. And he was like, we should figure out how to like restrict contraceptives. So they're gonna try and ban condoms and then gay marriage and gay sex and butt fucks.
So I'm reading the CLU article. Let me read this out. What happens when abortion is banned? Forcing someone to carry a pregnancy against their will has life-altering consequences, including enduring serious health risks from continued pregnancy and childbirth, making it harder to escape poverty, derailing one's education, career, and life plans, and making it more difficult to leave an abusive partner. This decision will lead to miscarriages being subject to suspicion, investigation, arrest, and patients and doctors being thrown in jail. These burdens will disproportionately fall on women of color. Come on now. It's both women and men. Those struggles to make ends meet, young people, immigrants, people with disabilities, and LGBTQ communities. It's fucking everyone. It's not just the first few that you've mentioned. It's fucking everyone. Today's ruling will have deadly consequences. Okay, yeah, that's true. With the harm falling hardest on black women and other people of color who have already faced a maternity morality crisis. Wait, black women are 3 times more likely than white women to die during childbirth or shortly after. If abortion is banned nationwide, pregnancy-related deaths are estimated to increase. They're gonna increase. So we're gonna kill women, basically? So, the federal government, in a sense, indirectly just agreed with killing 50% more women. 21% white women. 33% black women. As a result of Roe versus Wade being removed and overturned. They're okay with that percentage of women dying from childbirth. Because they couldn't get an abortion. So I want the women right now, if you see my podcast and you look at my email, send me an email why you think it'd be okay to risk your life, 50% of you, to die for some fucking stupid law. I don't see it. I don't fucking see it one bit. I don't see why a woman would agree with this. I would love a woman right now to come on my fucking stream right now or go into my fucking emails and sit there and tell me why it's completely okay to ban abortion and why you would be for this law and for your own death, basically. Explain it to me. I'd love to know the mindset is why you'd be okay with 50% of your own gender in your own country to be dead or put on the chopping block. I fucking can't. I am mystified by that. What comes next for abortion rights? Without the federal rights to abort, which, encompasses all the states, about half the states, which are all unmade up and they don't fucking regulate goddamn diddly shit, they're basically 52 strands of retarded bullshit that don't know what the fuck they want. About half the states are expected to ban abortion in their near future. Some of these laws will take effect immediately, and some will require additional bullshit to look into, investigation to figure out what kind of laws they want to put into effect. But honestly, you could read the rest on the link down below. You don't really need to read much more than what's already on the ALCU. It's I just don't get it. I don't understand it 1 second. I'm not going to pledge anything to the ALCU. Because, again, every time I funded some kind of political stance, they bombard me with fucking emails, especially change.org. They're all pretty bad. Here's my issue. All these idiots that stand around outside of Congress with their protest flags, legally speaking, they need to be locked up and thrown out. Same thing with when Black Lives Matter protested all around the White House. You need to get those people the fuck out of Washington. Bar them from entry. I don't care if it's a protest and people have the rights to sit outside. People have the rights to drive their fucking car through the White House. Nothing stops them. Just drive through the fucking gate. Keep going. Don't stop. Just hold your foot on the gas. Keep going. Maybe you have some friends in the back of the trunk that want to jump out and fucking take over again. Maybe we can recreate the insurrection for the fucking shits and giggles of it, because who the fuck would care? You have a human right to do what you want and live the way you want. No one's going to tell you the way you want to live. I'm not going to fucking do exactly anything that I've just said. What I'm going to tell you is this. I think that this law is completely fucking stupid. This overturn is the dumbest fucking thing in United States history, second to the insurrection. It is one of the dumbest things ever. Of all fucking time. The third or fourth one being removal of Martin Luther King Day. Which apparently is no longer a day, I guess, right? Martin Luther... I mean, I don't know. Martin Luther King Day? There was a day where we didn't celebrate it. I don't know why. There was a certain day, I think it was last year, that we didn't... I don't know if it was Martin Luther King Day, but there are other groups...
The dumbest decision the Supreme Court could ever goddamn make?
Yes, I think it is one of them.
Also, people are still going to get abortions. Hey, did you outlaw gay marriage? Guess who's still going to get married? Regardless of the state level or not. Guess who is going to just do whatever, whenever? Because if it's out of your sight, it's out of your mind. And you won't send the fucking DEA, the ATFE, police agencies to kick down someone's door for smoking pot, send some 18-year-old to prison for 20 years. Now they're 38. Now they're fucking gay. And then you're going to throw them in jail for butt fuck and getting married to another man? How are you going to arrest a gay man when he's getting married to another gay man? They're going to crash the wedding and there's going to be a stripper. It's going to have, like, you know, it's going to have Lena Moon in the bathtub cake. And they're celebrating, you know, two trans lesbian men that look like women fucking each other's throats. They got wedding cock rings, okay? Listen. It doesn't matter. Joey Diaz is still going to take a shit into his own hand and throw it over the sink and into the toilet in his own bathroom. And there's nothing that Clarence Thomas and his interracial wife can do about it. It doesn't really matter. It was like this decision of like multiple judges, right? They all have to come into agreement because like Clarence Thomas is in the frustrum, you know, he's in the media focus. So his optics are very bad because he had this concurring opinion against contraceptives. But that's interesting because, you know, is it because he doesn't want to have a child that's mixed? Like, whatever. You have all these laws against this and that and marriage equity. It's weird stuff like that. And it's weird because it's coming from people who are, according to those who are advocates for representation, you know, they're diverse. Okay, they're very. This would affect them, and it's like they're making laws against themselves in some ways. I think it's really unusual. It's like if you put what was that gay alt-right guy, that Milo Yiannopoulos dude, and if he was in the Supreme Court and he made a law against gay marriage or something, like what the fuck? You know what I mean? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine Gaten Tugas creating a law that says death penalty to people who have AIDS? And Gaten Tugas who's like patient zero with that shit, you know? It's weird like that. There's something weird about Clarence Thomas and Ginny Thomas. Just that connection there and the whole thing with her affiliation with these controversial groups and the fact that he was in favor for overturning Roe v. Wade. I just think that's really weird. There's a lot of things going on. This is unrelated, but if I may. So, the Tops shooter, the security guard, had patented a generator that worked on water. Is some urban legend that's been going around. And I haven't seen an article about it yet, but I thought that was interesting. So there are these things that make no sense, but then when you look at
what's going on inside that event. Who was targeted at that supermarket and who was a victim at that attack. It reminds me of there's something more multi-layered going on with the fact that Clarence Thomas, Justice Thomas, is deciding to overturn alongside his peers also that are also on the court.
We need to bring back death penalty.
Multi-layered going on here.
We need to bring back the death penalty.
I
full on.
They fuck it up sometimes, and they would have somebody who didn't actually do it be in prison for years, and they would what'd they say, exonerate
the death penalty. I know
evidence,
what you're trying to say, but the death penalty would be
he was killed.
Heavily investigated. The death penalty would only be given to people that have already been in prison.
Naive here.
No. Let me finish. Let me finish.
The wrong guy. They can't do it.
BDX, let me finish. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, they lock up the wrong person. They don't immediately, on the spot, like you're thinking, give them the death penalty right then and there. They lock them up. They bring them up before a judge. They get a life sentence, and then they get a second hearing. They get pulled before a court again with more information, and then a judge will make the decision whether or not, with all the evidence put on the table and a full-on 100% investigation, would be put into place before a death penalty is even issued. That's more fair. Because in that way, that second time around...
the choice of the inmate as well. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. Life in prison or death penalty.
And it's your choice.
Unless they kill the fucking kid.
Hey. What do you think of Charles Manson? You think he would have taken the bullet?
Why do you think he...
Given the choice.
Oh, yeah.
You're doing life now, but...
oh, yeah, I think he outright said he wanted to die.
To just finish this.
You do know that Charles Manson said he wanted to die, right?
Yeah, so I think he would have chosen.
Yeah, he would have taken the bullet. He would have said, "Hey, I want to fucking shoot myself."
Yeah, he would have made that choice like right then and there. And then the ones that have like death available to them, some will choose no. It's like the theme song from MASH.
I don't know. I'd still be okay with the death penalty.
They would play that in prison before Charles Manson would choose the death penalty for himself.
Same thing for... How about this? I give you a different scenario. BDX. I give you a different scenario.
They would play that for people in prison.
Listen. I give you a different scenario. The drunk drivers that go out and they full well know on their driver's ed test when they get their graduated driver's license, their GDL, it says a bunch of stuff about drinking and not to fucking drive while drunk, even with a fucking can in you, basically. Like, nothing more than that. Less. Not even any. You shouldn't be fucking driving. And yet the people that go out fucking wasted, and I mean wasted, they're like 0.3, 0.2, like blacking out at the fucking wheel wasted. And then they hit and kill a whole family. And then they get brought before a judge, and the only one alive is a dad or something that's traumatized that their wife and kids are dead. You know, and I've seen multiple cases where on YouTube, I remember seeing...
Terrible.
Well,
I don't know.
Let me finish. So, a woman that's like this fat, overweight woman that's in her 30s that looks like that she was probably a mom or, you know, somebody abused her or whatever. She gets in the car, she drinks, she fucking drives, kills the family, gets brought before a judge, is crying her eyes out, "Oh, I will never do it again. It was the worst thing ever. I'm going to be ruined forever mentally for it. I'm already punished." They get life in prison. But they want to die. They are going to regret it forever. They know full well, getting behind the wheel, that, being intoxicated, they're responsible for human life. You are behind a machine that can kill people. You are behind a machine that, when operated, can physically kill people. Bicyclists, people walking around, cats and dogs, fucking animals, pets, people can accidentally drive through a fucking building. I've seen people accidentally drive through banks. Okay, it's very common. So, you mean to tell me that these people should get a free check that, accidentally kill a whole family or whatever, and, on guilt or on remorse? If you send the right message of fear saying, hey, look, if you kill more than one person, or an amount, or maybe it's a young generation person that's not even an adult yet, or not even fucking 10, and they die, as a result of another adult, more mature person being a fuck up, going out, drinking their big fucking bottles of vodka. I'm going out driving. I'm gonna go make sure I hit people because I'm drunk and I can't drive and steal the wheel. They're gonna go out. They're gonna accidentally kill a whole family, and they get life where we pay out of taxpayer money to go and fund those people to sit around inside of a jail getting a square course meal every single day, shower, food, water, the works that would be required for a person to live. Okay, the stuff required for human living, to a criminal that has killed a whole family, ended a career of multiple people, some people haven't even gotten the chance to live yet, and then what? That's it? That person shouldn't go unpunished?
In prison so hard, they're gonna get...
No, I'm not done yet. Their actions will get put all over social media, BDX, their actions, and they'll get life in prison, which is basically a fancy little roof over their head, paid by the taxpayers' money, and it encourages another person to do it because there's no capital punishment in place. You're okay with that. The ability to instill fear into a human being, to all human beings across the state, across the fucking world, again, I'm okay with the idea of killing off people. If they're stupid and reckless.
Prison is probably worse than death. But
if you got behind the wheel right now and you drank like a fucking whole bottle of vodka and you hit a fucking family, would you not want to kill yourself? Think about it. There's no thought process because you'd be dumb enough to get behind the wheel to begin with.
The idea that the government does not want to help you.
I mean, do you think they want to help you when they put you in prison for life? Yeah, they do. Because they're fucking giving you basically a free rented room with food and water and bedding and a shower. Regardless if you get raped in there, at least you'll have a lover.
So repeat again, like who the background of the woman is that is drunk driving.
I don't know her exact name. She's just in her 30s and overweight. There's a video on YouTube. That's just one. Listen, BDX. It's just an example. It's just an example of one person.
All right, well,
I was just saying that example.
A privileged rich white kid, and
so Justin Bieber.
Very fit, like Justin Bieber, right? Did he do that?
He got behind the wheel drunk driving in I think it was a Lamborghini or whatever, and he hit a mailbox and almost killed some people. And then, as a result, California wanted to evict him back to Canada.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I would be pissed about something like that. I'd also be pissed about, getting hit by a dyke.
I would also like to say that if you're rich, the court should fucking hound you just as much as the poor. On equal level. So if a poor person, their equivalency of the amount of money they have saved is only like $2,000 in their bank account, and they can't afford a fucking court hearing or a proper thing, and the attorney that they get is going to cost them, 3/4 of their money, so like $1,500 to get an attorney or retainer appointed to them. That's 3/4 of their wealth. I think a fucking rich person should give up 3/4 of their fucking wealth. Half of it going to an attorney, the other half going to the fucking goddamn court. Because it's their legalized fuck up. They fucked up, they're there. If they're there to fucking fight a legal battle because they did something wrong, that they should have to pay equal to the amount that the poor person is fucking paying. I know that's a shitty concept and idea to the rich, but if you're gonna be a fuck up and be somebody like fucking Amber Heard who's going out there being a lying, abusive piece of shit, and then not have the money to back up your finances, get the fuck off the goddamn career choice that you've been on. Get your fucking behavior together and be a normal fucking human being to society. It's very simple. Unfortunately, the rich feel like they're privileged, but they're not any more privileged than any other person in the world. They're really not. You could be as rich as fucking Bill Gates and fly around in a chopper. It doesn't mean anything. You're still a regular fucking human being. You can't just be fucking Donald Trump and walk into a McDonald's and order a fucking Big Mac without some weird shit going on. Or getting it for free. I mean, like, there's always going to be a privilege attached to what you do. So I feel like, yes, taxing the rich, yes, definitely. I don't feel like musicians or people that are starring in movies should get as much as they claim. I don't feel like that should be the case. That's a separate matter. I'm not going to get into that. But I feel like that those people get overpaid a lot more than they should. The music industry, especially. All the copyrights for music that you see in the industry. For Sony Music Group Entertainment and shit like them. And what's another one? Warner Bros. Music Group or Universal Music Group. All these music group and music entertainment industries. You can't copyright every audio in the fucking world. Eventually, we're gonna run out of creative shit to make and do, and there's not gonna be anything of relevance. You can't put a claim on all of it because you don't even fucking physically own all of it. You own the fucking creator's album. Okay, and they die. You take over full ownership of it? That's not exactly fair to the person who's now dead. That's another big problem on fucking YouTube and the way this system works with its automatic detections and all that shit. Nobody can use a fair license. So if you own a physical copy of a disc, so if I owned a physical copy of Hybrid Theory, Linkin Park's now dead. I can't use that album, even though I fucking have the actual disc. Even though I have a license to do whatever I want with it because I bought the disc, doesn't give me a right to do it because some fucking yuppie on YouTube, some big exec that's sucking off YouTube in the back rooms. I don't know who the fuck would own Linkin Park or whatever company does. They have the right and authorization to basically say your video is now mine because it uses a tiny little audio clip of music you bought. So I could play that disc in the background on a fucking radio player, and I'm not allowed to have it playing. You know, that's a whole nother law and ballpark that needs to be thrown out. The music industry is fucking corrupt. They need to be thrown the fuck away. They ruin YouTube. They ruin creators. They ruin everything. They need to go. Roe versus Wade, okay. And again, same fucking concept. We need to unfucking overturn this shit because it is the most disturbing thing that I have seen in 30 years of living. 30 fucking years of living on this fucking earth. I feel like banning abortion is the dumbest fucking thing I have ever fucking heard in my whole life. And the only thing that I hear, what I see and hear when I hear those words said out loud to myself, I think of somebody making a tiny bit of money from the medical market. Because now that those hospitals, those people don't need to request the tools, the time, and the necessity to do the abortion surgeries. They don't need to give out the fucking day after pills that are like $50-$60 on fucking Walmart, Target. They don't need to make any more of those drugs. They don't need to make any more of those surgeries because guess what? You just took that away. So now those people with medical market stuff and in the stock exchange, they now make a lot of money because now you guys just took all that shit the fuck away and you sat there and you jacked off all the civil people in the at the federal court, in the superior court, and say, hey, look, we want to ban this all. Not knowing full well that you basically just got jacketed by a bunch of rich people and used like a fucking condom. You're the sperm cell that leaked out of a condom, basically, at that point.
Nice.
Go look at the previous generation of your family. I'm pretty much they probably made the same monetary fuck up that you guys just did. If you were in support of that, you are a fuck up. That is completely wrong. There is no way that if your family was alive right now, if they are alive, that they would probably turn and say, yeah, this is okay. At no point, because they probably have faced something very similar to this law in their lifetime. And they probably have lived with it all this time. They probably won't agree with, this overturn. I can bet you people that are in their 70s, 80s, 60s right now, if you were asked them, hey, how do you feel about this law overturn? They would tell you it's stupid. They'd tell you it's stupid. No doubt in my mind. And I don't see any instance in my entire fucking career, anywhere online, that I could see a valid reason for fucking wanting to ban fucking pregnancy. Or abortion, basically. It's stupid. We're gonna get to the point, and I said it earlier on in my stream, we're gonna get to the point, be it where I'm dead and gone, or in the next couple of years, we're gonna have in place very similar laws to China, where they have population control laws. Because that is basically what Roe versus Wade has been doing secretly, without anyone really saying anything, because again, it was the people's choice to abort. So when the people had the choice, 50% of them would do it, 50% wouldn't. It helped the government not try to openly push abortion and, population laws because the people did it for them. So now, we're now going to be facing a lot of monetary issues regarding food, water, gas, the national debt, because of morons out in the street that are sitting around Washington jacking off outside, public indecency, and they're camping out outside that need to be fucking removed, exonerably into prisons and not released. That's what I honestly think should be around the White House, just outside. Just prisons around the whole White House perimeter for all protesters. If you want to protest not in the fucking street. Not, breaking into people's fucking businesses and stealing their TVs and robbing ATMs and blowing themselves up. Shit like that, like the Black Lives Matter protesters of a few years ago. I am disgusted to live on this country, this earth. Okay?
They probably think that you should go to jail for not sharing the same opinions as them.
I don't know.
I think they're gonna go to jail for setting fire to a TV.
It's fucking stupid.
I think they're gonna go to jail for having fried chicken in their hair.
It's fucking gross. I mean, I don't understand why people are like this. Why would you want to ban abortion to begin with? Also, Sennial Zoomer, you can fuck off. I'm gonna end my stream. I'd love somebody to send me to my email an actual reason why it'd be okay to ban. I'd love to hear one good reason to convince me why it'd be okay. From a monetary, environmental, to everything standpoint, basically. Give me an all standpoint. Give me a story or something that'd be okay with doing it, because I don't see the fucking purpose. At all. And if you don't understand the law, don't fucking post. Don't send me anything.
If you don't understand the law, don't become a judge.
Yeah, don't come here as some fucking zuppy thinking that they know everything. Because at the end of the fucking day, you just look like a fucking idiot.
I got an
Just
idea
like the rest of the leftists that sit outside.
New law.
What's your new law?
Obesity.
You'll never be able to do that.
Lose weight, America. You don't need to worry about abortions if you look like this.